Welcome, and thank you so much for clicking on today's video. The week has begun, and Monday was a bit sluggish, but I think that this week is about to get a little bit spicy, and it might even start tomorrow, because today we might not have had data, but I think every single other day of this week we do have some data to pay attention to. So we will go over that for you, because on this channel I am dedicated to really just trying to put out some helpful information that can help you get better as a trader. And we do that by talking about regular market moves. I use a lot of the skills that I've gained over a long time, and we give you guys things like daily expected moves, which is calculated by the options data. You can always subscribe and join us here almost every single day, where you can get little numbers like this without even having to do the work of the calculation. I'll do it for you. All right, guys, we need to get into some technical analysis, because the implied volatility today was a little bit low, but for tomorrow it's starting to open up, and tomorrow's a big day with the data. So let's get into that first. So just really quick here, I wanted to show off that we will be getting the core inflation rate, right? We will have a CPI day, right? We will get this information, and it looks like overall it's supposed to come in pretty much in line, nothing too surprising. Which, if you know how I think about this data, I think that these estimations are completely made up, and then I think that they push out a number that can overall say, hey, we had a sluggish day today because we're just baiting you into whatever wants to happen next. That's truly how I think about it. But if you pay attention to the technicals, I have a lot more faith in those. But for CPI, you can notice that we do have some even readings here. So that means we are open to a little bit of a surprise tomorrow. And that is something that is overall being suggested by the daily expected moves. Going into the 2-hour chart for the SPY, that's right, tomorrow we will get some inflation data, and so these have really opened up. The implied volatility has increased from about 10% today to about 16% going into tomorrow, so it means be aware that we can experience some up and down kind of movement in the market. We do see those daily expected moves as 641.28 to the upside and 630.56 to the downside. Just to keep it at the beginning of this video, I am going to pop back into the SPY, but this is a point where you can pause and get these on your charts, especially if you have two screens. It is nice to have it up there, and you can draw out your own ideas too. If you would like the information for the Qs, well, we're going to have to update that together, because Lucas is a silly guy, and he must not have updated this before starting the overall record button. So 578.63 to the upside. We see that it is remaining in the same area, but notice we did experience a little bit of a downturn towards the end of the day. So this one down here is going to shift a little bit, 567.07. There you go. So your daily expected moves for the Qs, 578.63 to the upside and 567.07 to the downside. This is a 68% zone that is calculated using the options data. So you notice that today, really not a ton happened, but you notice when we do get a data day, oh wow, it really has opened itself up. So that's something we're going to pay attention to. Before I hop over to the SPY, I wanted to help you out with an email that was sent to me. A lot of people asking, what are these lines on the chart? You can see that these are my SMAs, the 9, the 50, and actually I switched it to a 200, so you can see 200 right here. And then the only EMA that I do use is the 20. So the red is the 9. These are SMAs. This 20 right here is an EMA. This line kind of staggered up is the 5-day moving average on a shorter chart. This is your 50 moving average, right, on just based on the time frame you're clicking on, and this is your 200 based on the time frame you're clicking on. All of these are SMAs except for the yellow line, which is an EMA, just so you are aware. Let's flip back over to the SPY and actually get the technical analysis started. I know, it's time to get started here. We do notice that the 2-hour is able to climb even higher. So this adds even more credibility to the continuation of this move, unless we see something really, really crazy. And so the most probable situation of seeing this potentially pull back on the 2-hour to then go higher is still available to us. We notice that we do have those daily expected moves there for us, so we are paying attention. But right now, let's see if this 2-hour is actually able to cross. Do we see that 30-minute divergence confirming? You see the confirmation with the RSI. Good price action down to that level. The only problem here, and something you want to go over very quickly, is if we are not going to see this bad reaction from the data in the morning, but instead we are going to curl up on the 30-minute, I would be looking for the 30-minute to confirm that, because if the 30-minute is able to confirm like this, we might ride that thing all the way up to the daily expected move upside. That would be 641.28. But if we are going to break down and this divergence on the RSI means something, then it would be very likely for us to see the 2-hour get some kind of roll. We will see some kind of rotation up to actually test the 5-day at that point, and then we're able to curl to the downside again. This would be where we are looking for a potential 30-minute divergence if that takes place. The market is not more complicated than that, right? We just need to see how much selling can come in if we are going to sell off. And then the thing you want to be aware of, if you are saying, okay, I am going to short this down to the weekly expected move or something like that, the management for the trade is going to be very important here. That would be on the 30-minute chart as it stands. So really, if you look at tomorrow, it goes, if the 30-minute curls up, hey, we can go to that daily expected move. If the 2-hour is able to curl down, then it is very likely that we will hit a bump in the road around here and end up at the lower weekly expected move for the SPY. The Qs, you might be looking at this and going, RSI divergence, and that is right, but we've already experienced a sell-off with these potential divergences here on the 2-hour chart for the Qs, and now this could be a whole new sequence. So pay attention to the fact that this could be a whole new sequence, and if this does curl down, it has a lot of room to stay positive, so just be aware of that, and you'll have a weekly expected move right here on the bottom. The weekly expected moves are in purple, the daily expected moves are in red, and you have a point to pay attention to. So if the 2-hour is able to curl down, you would expect that to go down to potentially 563.22, where you would be looking for potential reversal signals to see if we make the what? The higher low. If we see some kind of wipeout, if you do not see a higher low or a 30-minute divergence, then it is very likely that we are going to experience even more volatility and things could get a little bloody. I'm not necessarily leaning towards that because the signals are not leaning towards that. So I have changed my thinking here from just a week and a half ago. The 30-minute chart, you can see that the MACD is still in positive territory. So if this is able to curl to the upside, you would say that the Qs are above the 5. The Qs are in positive territory on their MACD. And therefore, if it is able to curl up, you would see a potential move all the way up to 578.63. And you really do not have to get more complex than that. If you were paying attention to the 30-minute during some kind of sell-off, that would say that we are very likely to bounce around this 567. This is where we could get some kind of bounce like this, and you actually see the left, the head, the right shoulder. That could shift you down one more time. And then around this time, I will be talking about 30-minute divergence if it shows its face. But is the 2-hour likely to rotate down? Well, something that we like to look at is volatility. I like to look at volatility, and we were suggesting looking out for this divergence to confirm, and you even saw a slight higher low confirm right now. You are still below the 5, so if that is able to reject, hey, we might need to go make new signals, and we are most likely squeezing. But if this 2-hour is going to curl up, you need to see divergence, you need to see a higher low. You saw both. That's pretty damn awesome. And the 2-hour is able to curl up. Now, the most probable situation here is we are going to make a higher low for the SPY. So does volatility suggest that it is very likely to make a lower high for the VIX? Yes, it does. You can see from the positioning of the MACD down here, we are pretty dang negative. So it's going to be very hard to withstand itself in positive territory. It can happen, that's a probability, but in these situations with the MACD this low, it is much more probable to see some kind of upward move and then fail that upward move and create the lower high for volatility. So for the SPY, for the Qs, for VIX, it is all leaning towards we are going to see SPY and the Qs potentially sell off, maybe with some data. It's going to be heavily dependent on the reaction to the data. That's why we mentioned the management for the trade. And therefore, it looks like the market is shaping up to go higher at this point. If we are going to see some major volatility come in, then we will see volatility really snap to the upside and not create a divergence and not create some kind of lower high at this point. I did want to mention something at the end of this video. I did want to mention some of the stocks that I think have potential to make higher lows on the 2-hour chart, or at least one stock. I really wanted to give this for Amazon. We actually went through the entire list on our weekly expected moves and talked about actually all of the stocks over here. So if you want to get a full breakdown, and we really looked for, hey, how would I treat this if I'm looking for an opportunity? That's how we looked at every single chart. We told you some that you might have to be patient for. We told you some that might have the potential to try to execute on a trade right now. And that's what we went over on Patreon earlier today. If you want to see that video, it's like 30 minutes long if you have time tonight to look through a bunch of stocks. It's very, very nice because we can have the weekly expected moves up. And if you join Patreon, it's only $7 right now. And I think that is fantastic. So something that we talked about over there was the potential for Amazon to create a higher low or really a divergence. And we were suggesting that because of where that weekly expected move is, right down at this level. So if we're able to make a 2-hour divergence here, it would suggest that Amazon could see a daily curl up by the center line. So this is a lot of the stuff that I look for in the market. If we are not able to create that 2-hour divergence but see the selling go off more, then there is no trade setup. But this is one that we mentioned as one you could be a little patient for. You could look for a higher low. You could look for a 2-hour divergence, and it could be a good opportunity. If you don't understand any of the things that I'm saying here, if you don't understand the confirmations that you need in order to have reasons for a trade, we give those out in the full technical analysis course. That is only $100 right now. It's 90% off because of looks like this from Amazon. People can get very confused if volatility increases all of a sudden, then just starts to go the other way. So that course will help clear things up for you. It will teach you a lot about weekly expected moves and other things that I see as very important to know, and that is very helpful to me. So I share that information with you in the course. It's only $100 this month for my birthday, so I highly suggest you go and grab it if you are interested in learning. I appreciate you looking at the YouTube video today. I appreciate you clicking on my video. I hope that in some way this information was helpful to you, so I'm going to summarize this for you for the last part of the video. It looks like we need to see the reaction to the data, but a lot of the signals are suggesting that the data could shift us down for a 2-hour pullback, maybe even down to the weekly expected move. But we want to be aware, if I am taking a trade based on that, that the management for the trade and how we would end up at 641.28 is the 30-minute is able to curl up, get past all these moving averages, curl up on the MACD, curl up past that center line on the RSI, and that is how we make our way to 641.28. So if the 30-minute curls up, good thing for the bulls. If the 2-hour curls down, good thing for the bears. And that's what it looks like at this point. And at the towards the end of the week, we will be looking for potential traps at either side of these weekly expected moves. Thank you so much for watching this video. Now you can maybe go spend some time trying to learn or going over to Patreon to check out that video. And if you do have those skills already locked down and you're very confident with what you're doing in the market right now, then go spend time with family, go hang out with some family, have a nice dinner, get a nice meal, and get some good sleep so you are prepared for tomorrow, because implied volatility has increased and it could get a little bit more wild throughout this week with all the data we have. Thank you so much. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you guys for liking, and I hope you have a fantastic night. Peace out.